Hey, hello there, all my poor people. It's Michael Dieterich here. I'm just a poor boy. Welcome to my channel. It is the 27th of June, and today we're celebrating day 2 of the Summer Lovin' Weekend. Now, for those of you that haven't seen the promo yet on my site or several sites or channels, this weekend, 12 artists from around the world are taking place in a I'm not going to say it's a challenge because we're not challenging each other, but the challenge is that we all have to make a piece, all 12 of us, and there are some guidelines given to this piece. And in the long run, I know we're going to get 12 fantastic pieces of art. So this is the Summer Lovin' Weekend. 12 artists from around the world, as I said. I'm the fortunate one because it's 12 artists, but I am the only guy. I refer to the painting posse, as we are professionally known as the ladies, and sometimes my harem. I just love these gals. Haven't known them for a long time, but I'm so glad to be part of this group. So, Summer Lovin', what are we doing? The first requirement is that all the pieces have to have a water element. Now, my water element not only is in the colors that you see here, but in how I'm going to finish the piece, but we'll get to that later. Next, everyone has to paint a fish, and I gotta tell you, this is the part of the challenge that I'm not happy about because I am an abstract artist. I'm not a realistic artist, but I finally kind of went like, man up, and I will paint my fish. It will be hidden, but it will be there, I promise. Another part of the challenge is we have to do 2 pouring techniques. That's not going to be a problem. I've already decided what they are. We also have to use 1 metallic color, and it could be on any size canvas. So those are the 5 things we're going to check off: water element, fish, 2 pouring techniques, 1 metallic, and any size canvas. Let's start off with my paint colors. I'll post them in the description. I gave myself a little extra challenge today, and the extra challenge is I am using all paints from Amsterdam. We've got greenish blue, turquoise blue, manganese blue thalto, sky blue light, the thalto blue. This is King's blue. We do have a king in the Netherlands. Pearl white. I've been using this a lot lately. I love it. And one of my favorite metallic colors, deep gold. Deep gold is my metallic. Let's check it off the list. Now, there's going to be more to the water element, but just looking at the colors, you can already see I'm going for the water element. I'm going to be stacking up a cup today. I'm going to be pouring on an object, and I'll show it to you in a minute. But when you're doing object pours, things like tissue boxes, jewelry boxes, photo frames, the thing I want to remind you is that if you do like a straight pour and you stack your cup, sometimes people go, oh, I'm going to stack this cup with 8 colors, and they'll do 1 level, 2 level. If you do that with surface pours, you're not going to get as nice a coverage as you want, because instead of having a big canvas, you often have just a little side. And if like a bunch of blue is coming out, you're going to go, why did that all turn out blue? So instead of doing 2 big layers, you're going to want to do like 3 or 4 smaller layers. So I'm going to stack these. I already have them in order, but to save you boredom, here's a little bit of music, and we are going to zip through this with some time-lapse magic. Here we go. Alrighty, done. So you may have noticed I did 4 layers. You may have also noticed that at the end I went back and I put in this greenish blue. That's just simply because it's my, I mean, it's always hard to say, but I'm pretty sure it's my favorite color from Amsterdam. I just love it. Let's get to our object, our any size canvas. Now, it's officially not a canvas, but a canvas is pretty much anything you pour on. I have this little empty yogurt container, and this is my object. Let me show you in the side camera. Yeah, it's not really a vase, kind of like a bowl. Yeah, I love it. I'm going to do something special with this later, so I'm going to pour it, and that's going to be great. But I'm going to go further with it tonight. Or not tonight, but yeah, I'm going to continue. This is going to be a really, really nice piece, and I really want to capture that water element idea. So this is what I'm going to be pouring on. For those of you who have not poured on objects before, this is also kind of an easier one. A lot of vases have necks to them and shapes, and that makes it interesting when the paint is dripping, that if you get like a, let's see how I do this, if you get like a curve in the neck, sometimes the paint will roll down, and if it's too thin it will go straight down. You want to make sure it gets underneath that neck. But with this piece, no problem. Let's make sure it's level. Great. So, 2 techniques. First technique is just going to be pretty much a straight pour with this cup that I've prepared. Now the thing is, I'm going to be pouring it very much on the edge because I want this paint really to drip down. I'm not so worried about the bottom. Number one, normally with a vase you wouldn't see it. You still want it covered, but I'm going to deal with that a little bit later. So I am going to put a little spout in my cup, and I'm going to be concentrating on pouring around the edges so it immediately flows over. Here we go. Loving it. Love this here. Oh, there as well. Lots of great stuff. So what I have here left over, I'm just going to pour some of it right here in the middle. So now I've done my straight pour, and if I were to use that whole cup, I bet I could get everything pretty much covered. We need 2 techniques. Let's get to the second one. We're going to take this paint, as I said, we need it for later, and I'm just going to what we're going to do with this puddle is we are going to do pretty much like you'd think of as a Dutch pour. However, because I want it to ripple outwards, I do 2 things. Number one, almost everyone who does Dutch pour has the nozzle on their hair dryer. We are going to take that off of this. And you may not see it, I'm probably going to be kind of blocking the view, but you'll be able to see what's happening here. I'm actually going to start my hair dryer quite high and blow down, straight down with a open mouth so that it really spreads out, almost like if you were to, if this were water, if you threw a stone in the middle of the pond and it went whoop. That's what I'm looking for. Now, that gold is lovely, and see what I was talking about, that white, it really gets a little foamy, which I really love. Very nice. Now, as I look at the composition, I love this over here. I'm loving this gold. On this side, we are missing a little bit of darkness, so just gonna let's start with that, see what happens. Again, still no nozzle. Wow. Very nice. I am really happy with this. Of course, we have to see what happens because there is going to be some dripping as it goes down. I'm going to grab my palette knife. Oh, fabulous. I can't wait till I can show you the whole thing. I'm going to put my nozzle back on now. So even it's still dripping right now, I am going to already do just a quick scrape. So I used a straight pour and a Dutch pour. I love it. It's very watery, very oceany. Now, I am done with the pouring portion. So this just now has to dry, but I am not done with this piece. I'm going to take you in for a quick close-up, a little panoramic for now, and then you'll see what we're going to do with it. Be right back. Alrighty guys, now that it's dry, let's just take a look at this lovely bowl slash flat vase. I mean, there is such great detail work on here. I love it. It turned out lovely. The bottom is great. And let me just show you real quick the inside as well. People always go, do I paint the inside? No, it's glass. It will take care of itself. Now, let's get on to the next step. Alrighty guys, I've got a new little setup for this next part. Here is our flat vase, our bowl, whatever you want to call it. So I have all these seashells to make this ocean pour really pop for me. I'm actually going to glue some seashells on in little clusters around the outside. Not going to cover it completely, just finding some spaces. Like here, there's this patch of blue that you go, okay, nice, but it's a little bit boring. But if I had some seashells there, it would look great. And then once they're attached, I'll let them dry. And tomorrow I'll go up, I'll sand this down a little bit here to make this edge smooth. And then I will resin it, including the seashells. So this is all going to be time lapse, just so I can concentrate on the shapes and getting things together. Hopefully I've got enough battery time on these cameras, and I'm going to get started. Here we go.
You got me singing, way oh, way oh, oh. You look like a guy who could treat me right. Way oh, way oh, oh. Boy, take a chance, will you let me ride? Way oh, way oh, oh. I could be the best thing in your life. Way oh, way oh, oh. You got me singing, way oh, way oh, oh. You look like a guy who could treat me right. Way oh, way oh, oh. Boy, take a chance, will you let me ride? Way oh, oh. I could be the best thing in your life. Way oh, oh. Maybe let's take a drive, take a drive.
Tomorrow,
Look like a guy who could treat me
going to
right.
resin.
Boy, take a chance, will you let me?
Alrighty, here we are back 24 hours later. I am super happy with how this dried. The shells are on there secure. Now, they're glued on there and you want them to stay, so I want this piece to be beautiful and I want the shells to be part of it, so I'm going to resin it. And that's what I was going to do 24 hours later. That was last night. But last night I was looking at it and I was going, there's something missing for me. And it had to do with tying the piece together. I'm looking at the bottom here and I'm just going, there's so much empty space. I want some sand on there, and I'm going to tie that in, and it's going to also be the bottom of my base. So I'm literally going to take my PVA glue. Just going to put a little here on my wax paper. That should be more than enough for the whole piece. I'm going to start with my little brush. I'm just going to put some in between these shells here. That I've got this kind of decorative art sand. I put down a nice clean sheet here because we can pick it up and use it again as we go. already you can see what's happening there. I'm gonna let this dry, come back, see if it needs touch up, and then let it dry for good 24 hours with this PVA glue, and then we will get on to resining. Unless, of course, I come with another idea, but I don't think I will. I'm really happy with this. It now really looks like the bottom of the sea, and it just adds a little nice element. Hey guys, it is time for resin. I don't have a whole lot of time left in the video, so I'm going to just get to it, and we'll time lapse it as well. Make sure you're well protected. I'm wearing gloves, but I'm actually wearing 2 sets of gloves, 1 on each hand. Realize you only have a certain amount of time for your pour before it starts thickening up. Try not to make too much resin. It's very expensive, but even worse, not enough is terrible. That's why I always have a few things ready to go. So I'll make sure I have enough resin for this, and then hey, maybe I have enough to do the top of one of these pots, or maybe I even have enough to do this secondary vase that I made with the extra colors I had left over from making this. It's gorgeous. I love it. Or maybe I even have enough to fill in my jewelry basils, yeah? So we'll see what happens. The most important thing to remember when using resin is
I am your father.
Alrighty guys, here's the finished piece. I am super happy with this floating candle bowl. It's the perfect way to bring the ocean and some romance into your bedroom. I'm calling this piece Poseidon's Lantern. Stay tuned because next up is Holly from The Morning Pour. Hi there, Cappuccino. If you want to get to that video quickly, just click on the card at the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I'm Michael Dieterich. I'm just a poor boy. Bye-bye.